Audio, share, screen 2, share sound. Tell me you've got the correct screen showing. Okay, Alhamdulillah. Yeah, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So, brothers and sisters, Ya Allah, Ya Allah. May Allah grant us barakah in time. May we tracking. Inshallah, we'll get there. We should read dua for traveling every time. But we anna bu'da, may Allah shorten what we can squeeze into the same amount of time. Ameen ya Rabbal Alamin. Yeah. So, as we said, we are at where we need to reactivate the pointer here. So we are at we planning on spending most of our time now in this next portion at number 4. We're supposed to already be at Arafah. Inshallah, we will get there to Arafah on our designated time. Fine. So subhanallah, your 8th of Dhul Hijjah is most likely going to coincide with the 4th of June, which is a Wednesday. Good. If you check your Hajj pamphlets or brochures, even the e-brochures from which you made your selections of packages, this would kind of be the same date alignment, right? It could be off by 1 day. When will we know this? With some level of certainty. We would know this based on when Eid al-Fitr takes place. Okay, so that would be then the 1st of Shawwal. And we kind of tighten on this, call it then with like 80% accuracy when? On the 1st of Dhul Qa'dah, and then 100% accuracy when? On the 1st of Dhul Hijjah. So you have at least, at minimum, worst case scenario, a 7 days heads up in terms of this adjustment. That's also, subhanAllah, from the divine wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Hajj doesn't start on the 1st of a Hijri month. Can you just imagine the pandemonium? If Hajj started on the 1st of the Hijri, did they sight the moon? Did they not sight the moon? Are we going to Mina tomorrow? Or are we not going to Mina tomorrow? Understand? So it's all part of Allah's plan. And that's when you would realize, subhanAllah, about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala being Al-Alim, Al-Khabir. You would appreciate the teachings of the Sunnah of Habibuna Mustafa Muhammad Sallallahu, that they cater for everything that we have experienced and everything that we will experience. And there is no guidelines, code of law, other than Allah's that caters for this, because every other system is based on and has been designed by humans who are subject to their flaws. Okay, how do we approach each of the days of Hajj between, inshallah, this Saturday, and we must conclude both portions today and next Saturday? We start off by looking at our one slide infograph. Then we do a cover slide to look at the critical discussions surrounding that particular day. So that's what you're seeing here. Then, subhanAllah, we go through it a third run in terms of what? In terms of looking at it visually. So we show it to you in pictures. Where does this come from? In management and leadership, they say, when you have to do a presentation, tell them what you're going to tell them, then tell it to them, show it to them, and then tell them that you told them. Where does that come from? Anyone know? Habibuna Mustafa Muhammad Sallallahu, in terms of his teaching methodology, إِذَا تَكَلَّمَ تَكَلَّمَ بِثَلَاث. When you say anything, say it thrice. Do we really know who Habibuna Mustafa Muhammad Sallallahu is? Isn't that just so profound? Just that one statement. To think about the stuff that you're reading in textbooks, you think, this guy, he's really smart in this field of study. No, he isn't. He's stealing, subhanAllah, without sometimes even knowing. From who? From none other than the most intelligent, informed, aware, mindful, conscious of Allah's creation that ever walked on planet Earth. Okay. So, Yawm al-Tarwiyah. Most probably heard the term, sounds a little bit foreign, maybe hearing it for one of the first times. What does it mean? Let's go back to our video. It means the day of watering. Tarwiyah? Watering. Watering what? Watering the animals that would serve as a means of conveyance on Hajj. Filling the water skins so that you have ample water supply for Hajj. Filling your bladders with Zamzam some hours before. leaving for Mina is you, subhanAllah, latching onto what this first day represents. We are not devoid in our approach and methodology of appreciating deeply and intricately what happened in the Hajj of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Is it a day when, as they would say, the only thing you need to do is observe 5 Salah in Mina? La wallah, it's not that. It's much more than that. Unfortunately, we don't have the time to be able to unpack for you the Hajj of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, blah, blah, blah. Slides are there. Prepared. You can pull out the presentation now, but we'll need another couple of weeks if we take that approach. So inshallah, you're going to read your seerah completely. You're going to deep dive into the Hajj of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. May Allah facilitate at some point before you travel on Hajj, maybe we can do the prophetic Hajj, go through the Hajj of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam blow by blow, and then you'll see where all of these things in this approach actually tie back to. Critical discussions, when to leave for Mina. We'll speak about that. Whether I should take the bus or walk to Mina. Okay, maybe we should do them bullet by bullet. When to leave for Mina. So we have what happens, which is considered, subhanAllah, which may be invoked, which is known as Dawrain. Dawrain is the idea that every bus that is allocated to Hajj, why do I have the sense that I mentioned this to the class before? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Did I? Okay, so every bus on the days of Hajj has to do 2 rounds. What's the wisdom behind this? We reduce the number of buses on Hajj by 50%. What's the implication or consequence of this? The implication or consequence of this is that some Hujjaj could likely happen, has happened before, not every year, but has happened before to South Africans. Some Hujjaj would leave for Mina on the evening of Tuesday. Hajj starting Wednesday morning, because each bus needs to do 2 rounds. So some will have to go a bit earlier. What happens if I'm picked, or my group is picked, or my building is picked to go a day earlier, the night before? Is it the problem? It's not the problem. Now you'll kind of get an understanding of when that bag needs to be packed. Make sense? You'll see it on Wednesday evening. All right, so Dawrain, just conscientization with regards to this. Do I go in the state of Ihram or not? Right, we invoke here what we speak about, form and essence. Yes, Habibuna Mustafa Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam wore and donned and came into the state of Ihram on the 8th of Dhul Hijjah in the morning after Fajr. Okay, so I could choose to do one of 2 things. Let's say, for instance, I'm giving you like worst case scenarios, right? I have to move to Mina the night before. Do I go there in the state of Ihram? Remember, I have to carry all of this. And now, if I go not wearing my Ihram, I'm choosing my words carefully. If I go not wearing my Ihram, I have to carry all of this plus the clothes I'm wearing plus the Ihram. So what will make more sense? Go wearing the clothing of Ihram. Am I in the state of Ihram? I can choose yes or no. Form in essence. How do I get the exact form of what Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam did? No, he Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was not yet in Ihram. No problem. I took my ghusl. I wore my clothing of Ihram. I went to Mina. I spent this night there before Hajj actually started. When did I actually make my niyyah? In the morning. Understand? You're going to always know what's the gold standard. What did Habibuna Mustafa Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam do? Okay, how can I, as best as possible, encompass this from the perspective of form and essence? Sometimes you get the form. Inshallah, you should always get the essence. Sometimes you get the form. Sometimes you don't get the form. What was the form? He Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam wore his clothing, took his ghusl on the morning of the 8th of Dhul Hijjah. I took my ghusl before, but the essence is he made his niyyah when? On the morning of the 8th. I make my niyyah on the morning of the 8th. Make sense? Good. Okay. Do I take the bus or walk? How will I know? I must take you to Wednesday evening's presentation. I will know based on the trial walk that happened, call it some 48 to 72 hours before. More like 48 hours before, right? We'll speak about it, subhanAllah, on Wednesday evening. We would do a trial walk to Mina, take you to Mina. What's the reason for the trial walk? Same like your Makkah bus ziyarah. If you land up, because it's going to be a big group walking, and the person from the group is just saying, okay, and is not giving too much of information, what it means, let me switch to another group leader. Where am I in the group when I'm walking? As we mentioned, I'm on the heels of the person with the most credible information. And I want to be on the heels of the person with the most credible information who has the biggest mouth, not the best jokes, who's giving the most information, right? That's where I'm going to learn the most. So I check, okay, there's this guy, he doesn't speak too much, whatever else. There's that one, looks like, he's saying a lot of stuff that makes sense. let me jump to that group. Understand? So you must be smart how you position yourself, right? So I go for this trial walk. I realize, like we do our Sunday morning walks, what's the impact on me post the walk? Not, yeah, I managed the walk, alhamdulillah. But then the whole next morning till Dhuhr, Asr, I was sleeping. That's going to inform me, hey, maybe I shouldn't take the walk. I shouldn't do the walk to Mina because I'll be tired for another X number of hours. So as we say on the walks on Sunday morning, gauge your energy 2 hours after the walk and your ability to continue in your normal run-of-the-mill activities without any loss in energy. That will tell you your level of fitness. Now, we're not going into scientific heart rate and resting rate and all of that just yet, but fine, you get the idea, right? So that's how I choose whether I'm taking the bus or whether I'm walking. Alhamdulillah, if I have to take the bus, I have to take the bus. What's the difference? Because now someone asked, Maulana, walking Hajj or no walking Hajj? The difference is walking where possible, where I've trained, where I'm able, where when I evaluate on the morning of the 8th of Dhul Hijjah or just before any leg of the journey, my personal health and knowledge of myself tells me I'm good for this. Because lo and behold, even Abdurrahman, and may Allah never allow that day to come, even Abdurrahman on a particular day could realize, I'm going to be taking some big chances if I walk today. Understand? Like I said, may Allah never allow that day to come. Say Ameen. Otherwise, you'll have to walk alone. Right? So, subhanAllah, that's how I evaluate. Am I someone that bends to peer pressure? Oh, there was a light drizzle. I was thinking of walking for Hajj, but now it's going to rain on Hajj. I'm not walking anymore. No. If I committed to doing something, then subhanAllah, I'm geared for it. No problem. Bring the rain on. I got my 10 rain, disposable raincoat here in my day pack. Sharp. We're ready. Let's go. Oh, brothers, I got a spare piece of ihram. Understand? That I'm going to use. When this one gets too wet, I'll wring it. And then, subhanAllah, I'll use the dry one. And then I'll wring that one. And then I'll keep going. All right. Bus or walk. All right. When we come into Mina, now here's the camp. Right? There's two things. There's a tent. So let's assume our hall, our venue is the tent. There's different doors to enter the tent. And then if we look at, subhanAllah, this area of the school, right? So a good example here, just outside on the window on your left-hand side, you can see this little fence, right? It doesn't allow the children to jump there from the road, subhanAllah, here into the walkway. So anything outside a fence in Mina would be outside your camp, so going onto the road. So there's many tents within one camp. Make sense? It'll make more sense in pictures just now, inshallah. In my physical tent, how do I choose a spot? So maybe you thought about it, maybe you didn't. Let's just ask, subhanAllah. So if we ask the sister sitting at the back, right? Sister, why did you choose that particular place to sit? One of the reasons will be, I came with my daughter and I didn't want, maybe she gets a little bit, she starts moving around a little bit. I didn't want her to disrupt anyone, so I chose the spot. Good, as an example. But if I had to ask the same sister, why did you choose the spot? Give me another reason. Maybe she will tell me I chose the spot because I know the door is open here, so I'll get a cross breeze. Correct? That's the type of thinking you want to invoke when you say choosing a spot in Mina. Cool. So we're going to give you some tips and tricks surrounding that, right? Then I have to manage separation from my spouse. Because you're not sitting like this in Mina. There's a proper full barricade in between. And when I say full barricade, there's a likelihood, subhanAllah, that it's not, there's a likelihood that, let's assume, the sisters are behind the brothers, so that when we stand up for salah, then the men are in the front sufuf and the sufuf plural of saf, and the sisters are in the back sufuf. Let's assume there's another small tent between our males and our females. So let's assume the female tent is behind those stacked chairs. So look to the back. That means what? That means I can't play talkie. Love, pass me this from your back. Understand? So we also, subhanAllah, in terms of this, have to appreciate that it's somewhat separation. Here under managing our separation from our spouse, remember when we spoke about choosing your mobile package? Way back then, you got to go and stream those links. More data, some minutes, not data only package. Why? On the days of Hajj, they literally convert the places of Hajj into one giant Wi-Fi hotspot. So you drop WhatsApp, Maybe WhatsApp comes 2 hours later, maybe even comes a day later. How do you connect with your spouse? You call. When you hear the person on the other side of the line, okay, cool. Let's meet in the aisle. We do a cup of tea now. Are you okay? Did you rest? Anything you need? Understand? To check in with each other. It's not only the husband's responsibility to check on the wife. Brothers are thinking, yeah. Normally it's the wives who check on the husbands. Brothers, like, be decent human beings. Yeah, and check up on your spouses too. Understand? Sisters come, Maaf, can you call Ibrahim, please? MashaAllah, what a good spouse. Very rarely, mashallah, there'll be a husband who goes, like one husband this morning, he took out 2 bottles of water, he walked his wife. Kudos, my brother. That's the type of maharim husbands that you want to be on Hajj. Whoever that husband is, his wife is making lots of dua for him right now. Good. Okay, precious sleep. For the next few days, I am not sleeping in a brick and mortar building. And I'm also not sleeping in the comfort of my own privacy, irrespective of class of sleeping accommodation. Understand? I'm not sleeping in the comfort of my own privacy. I'm sleeping amongst other people, males with males, females with females. Good. Naturally, sisters, as best as possible, even when you're sleeping in the evening, you somewhat want to make sure that you are properly covered. Brothers, it's a bit easier. We'll show it to you in pictures, but there's also some risks that you potentially run. Okay. Which means what? Prior to Hajj, what needed to happen? Almost, if you could, you can't as a human being. Almost as if I space banked sleep. Quality sleep, deep sleep. Because now I'm resting, but I'm not likely to get deep sleep. There will be points when you get deep sleep, not because you want to invoke deep sleep, but because you're just so tired, you will sleep deeply. Good. One more. There's likely to be programs after every salah. Don't write it down. It's going to happen. You don't even have to worry about it. How do you choose whether you attend these programs? You sit there after salah, the sheikh stands up, he starts giving an address. Let's say, for instance, he's talking something about the seerah of Muhammad and some historical event that occurred. You evaluate in your mind, is this adding value to my Hajj right now? Can I listen to this portion of the seerah somewhere else? Is this portion of the seerah surrounding the Hajj of Muhammad? No, it isn't. What's the decision you make in your mind? I have better things to do with my time. You don't have to be rude. You can sit in the same place, take out your device, start reading your half juz of Quran after every salah. Get what I'm saying? It's your Hajj. If you're the person who needs a pep talk after every salah, you didn't prepare properly. And you also don't know what to do. Maybe the first few minutes, okay, Hujjaj, it's now after Dhuhr, you're in Mina. MashaAllah, these are the key points that we need to focus on in Mina. You get that portion, then you zone out. Go to your own ibadah. Understand? Make your time count. I arrived at Arafah with a group of Hujjaj walking, subhanAllah, 1 year, and I could hear this South African Sheikh, Alim, Imam, Maulana, whatever title, subhanAllah, giving an address to the Hujjaj on the morning of Arafah surrounding some aspect of the seerah. And I'm like, no. Good content, not the time, not the place. Follow? Am I being crude? Am I looking down on other scholars? No, not at all. Maybe he was compelled, right? Islam teaches us 70 excuses. Maybe he was compelled because he looked at his audience and he's like, yo, these people are so far from where they need to be. Anything will do. And in his mind, Allah inspired him. This is what I should share with him. Follow? But you are not that Hajj. You are the one who knows every minute counts. The moment you make landfall in Mina, what happens? Well, I need to do X, Y, Z. I need to know where the bathrooms are. I need to know, I have my Salah times already. I need to know what's going to be my game plan to be ready for Salah in the place where I'm going to make Salah. How long before the Adhan? Tell me. Tell me you did time management. An hour before Adhan. The same routine that you ran from Madinatul Munawwara puts you in a place, in a state, in a habit, in a mold for your days of Hajj that you can't be faulted. What did you do as an example? I know I'm running a bit forward. What did you do, subhanAllah, in the 1 hour before Salah of Dhuhr? You entered the Haram, you made Tahiyatul Masjid, you drank some Zamzam, and then you made Salatul Duha, and then you recited Quran. So now I'm in a place where I don't have the luxury of my personal privacy. So now I'm thinking, but if everyone's sleeping here, if I stand up and make Salatul Duha, they're going to think I'm acting very pious. Is that going to happen? No. Why? I've been doing it for the last 5 weeks. It's a habit. So khalas, I do my thing. Do you have to worry about nifaq and hypocrisy? No, because it's habitual. But if you didn't do it in Medina and didn't do it in Makkah, now you have this issue. Like, I'm not sure if Allah will accept this because, these people saw me. Maybe they'll think like, I'm pious. So shaitan starts playing with it. But if it's your ada and your habit, as they would say, it's second nature. You're in your element, you just do it. Whether people see you or people don't see you. Understand? That's the benefit of invoking that portion of what we shared in class from the very beginning of the trip. Nay, you're supposed to be invoking that already. We told you about 10 o'clock tea time, what 10 o'clock tea time is meant for, right? Sha'ban, Allahumma barik lana fi Sha'ban wa balighna Ramadan. You're going to put those things in place now. So that when you're standing on the first day in Mina, been doing this for the last few months, inshallah, Allah grant me the perseverance and the consistency and the conscientiousness to do it for the rest of my life. It's going to be a dua that you make. Good. Let's see this now in pictures. Show them. Show them. Okay, so here's the Hujjaj, dressed, mashallah, in the state, in the clothing of Ihram, have their backpacks with them. Naturally, this picture taken from the vantage point of where they're all looking towards their group leader who's standing on a high place. I don't know who the group leader is. It's not me, right? It's one in our team, subhanAllah. What's happening? They're all reciting the niyyah together. Like how we did Umrah, right? So some people find a little bit more comfort in reciting the niyyah together. Fine. So the Sheikh recites for them the niyyah, Allahumma inni uridul hajja, oh Allah, we intend Hajj for your pleasure, make it easy for us, accept it from us. They recite the talbiyah 3 times. They didn't recite it in 3 phrases. Ya Allah, naturally, you know how to do that. We spoke about that the last time. And then, mashallah, now they're going to move to where? To Mina. Okay, so they chose to walk. We'll show you other pictures of those who chose to go by bus. So mashallah, here they're walking. I want you to take careful note of the picture here on the right-hand side. It gives you an idea of their gait, right? The length of each step, right? What can you tell me? Are they walking? No. Okay. And that's why over the next few weeks, Sunday morning walks, we're going to pick up the pace a little bit. All right, good. Let's, for those of you who have, naturally, we all live in a global world, but for those of you who are closer to Cape Town, maybe you will see someone you know. This was his Fard Hajj. Let's see him walk.
والنعمة لك والملك لك والملك لا شريك لك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك.
Good. So that's Maulana Irshad Siddiq. You can Google him, check him out, see what's he been up to. He did a 180-degree lifestyle change post this Hajj. This was his first Hajj. From a person that was more on the weighty side, subhanAllah, is now a fitness fanatic. His whole approach to life changed drastically just by being on Hajj. And inshallah, it's the same that we wish for you. Particularly chose the video. Why? Because it's someone you can see and aspire to in terms of the changes that they have experienced. What happens if I'm unable to walk? Because maybe I'm young, Allah save us from this, and I got injured. And now I'm wheelchair bound. So we're not being ageist, right? Could happen to anyone. Allah keep us all with siha and afiyah. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Right, so now you're told, bus will be here at 8 o'clock in the morning. Please be outside your building or inside your building, whatever they give you must be very clear in terms of following, subhanAllah, the instructions to the T. If the instructions are not crystal clear, what do? You ask. Ma, did you mean inside or outside? Did you mean on the restaurant floor where we eat every day? Did you mean on the ground floor? The foyer is relatively small. Should we come down there? As you advise. Ask politely. Good. They were told must be here. Let's give an example, 8 o'clock, right? So this is them at 8 o'clock. What can you see on their faces? One Hajjah the night before was doing, mashallah, some things that maybe she could have either done days before or maybe she should have left for after Hajj. Can you see she's sleeping? Yeah. You want to go to Hajj looking like this? Day one. Which informs you in terms of what you're going to do throughout most of those 7 days. We'll tell you on Wednesday evening. Right. Let's go. Are these real smiles or fake smiles? Real, right? And you'll agree with me somewhat. Pose for the picture kind of story. Right. Real smiles. Alhamdulillah. Happy. Let's call it now 8:30. What time was the bus supposed to be here? 8 o'clock. Want to give me a time stamp here? 9 o'clock. Appreciate that when times will be given to you surrounding movements on Hajj, they are not definitive. Because no one, not even, and I'll say, mashallah, recorded there for the whole global digital world to see. Not even MBS can decide what time your buses arrive. This is the difference between doing legs of Hajj on foot and doing legs of Hajj using transport. Walking Hajj in that sense guarantees you not 100% likelihood because of road closures, guarantees you a greater likelihood of being at any particular place at the appointed preferred time. Whereas doing any leg on a bus comes with the risk that I may not get there at the preferred time. I may not even get there on time, but I will eventually get there. Hence, we gear ourselves up for months before Hajj to be as physically fit as we could. You got a few weeks left now to Hajj. You do, subhanAllah, as you can to get yourself into the best state of physical fitness. Right, let's go to Hajj 2019. We are on day one. We are walking into Mina. Hajj Ibrahim made Hajj before. He used this particular thoroughfare. Boom. Yes. Lovely. So they're going to give you your time. They're going to tell you if you are walking, as an example, immediately after Fajr, we are leaving, as an example. What do we do now? Form in essence. Cool. So now we are two people. We have a couple room. Okay, no problem. We wake up an hour before Fajr, 1.5 hours before Fajr, like we would normally do. One takes ghusl, the other takes ghusl. Who takes ghusl first? I'm sharing this glass. Who takes ghusl first? This is subhanAllah. Okay, so I wanted some of those responses. If we model our Hajj on the Hajj of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then when Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam donned his ihram at Dhul Hulayfa, the miqat at Madinat al-Munawwara, you know, we stressed. Even if you're going by the train, go to the miqat. What do we read about the Hajj of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam took the ghusl for ihram, and then Aisha radhiallahu anha smeared itar onto his Mubarak sallallahu alaihi wasallam chest. If she smeared itar onto his chest, what do we learn from that hadith? Who took ghusl first? Follow? So you can read the seerah and you can read the seerah. We spoke about fiqh seerah, the lessons derived from the seerah. Wallahi, I don't have the time to go into each of those blows, but so much to learn. If I model my Hajj on the Hajj of Muhammad sallallahu and I read about the Hajj of Muhammad sallallahu, cool, I would have learned this fact. Naturally, I'm taking ghusl first. Why? So that we can invoke that sunnah. Even coming into the state of ihram, you saw romance from him sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Aisha radhiallahu anha. She smeared the itar, subhanAllah, onto his upper body. Naturally, she would have washed her hands after that. She would have taken a ghusl, etc., etc. Understand? Is it a problem in this day and age? I don't want to detract too much. Is it a problem in this day and age for me as a lady to be in the servitude of my husband? Does it make me less? Am I saying men should be chauvinist idiots? No. Because if I am willing to be like Khadija radhiallahu anha or like Aisha radhiallahu anha, subhanallah, in my marriage, this honeymoon that we're embarking on, this Hajj trip, then I'm also making dua and showing and humbling myself so that my husband is like Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And similarly, brothers, if I'm willing to embrace who Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was, then my wife is going to be like Khadija radhiallahu anha and Aisha radhiallahu anha. I'm not just talking about the 8th of the Hijjah, I'm talking about the whole trip and beyond, right? So deep lessons. Okay, let's go to this picture. Hajj 2019. This is Dr. Ibrahim Abdul Quddus Patel. He's a dentist somewhere in the Free State at the moment, in terms of where he practices. Where are we? We're in the tunnel. The tunnel was the thoroughfare at that time, right? In previous years, the tunnel was the thoroughfare from Azizia into Mina. What do you see there behind Dr. Ibrahim Abdul Quddus Patel? Day one. What happened to the bus? Does it mean I'm saying don't use a bus? No, no, no. There's thousands, tens of thousands of buses. But it's a likelihood. I need to be prepared for it. If I'm unable to walk, if I haven't trained myself to walk, if I'm not physically fit enough to walk, if I'm going to get tired after walking, I'm going to take the bus, tawakkil ala Allah, I'm going to recite the dua for traveling. And if the bus breaks down, alhamdulillah, the bus broke down, fine. I'll get to Mina. When Allah destined and decreed, I will get to Mina. Do I lose my cool on the bus? Must I tell you, subhanAllah, some of the best laughing moments on Hajj? A little bit later in the journey, on the morning of Eid, I'm not on the bus. My team is on the bus. I never have taken a bus, alhamdulillah, always on foot. This Hajj takes the top piece of his ihram out, right, in frustration, and he screams in the bus, I'm out of ihram. Why? Because the conditioning has not been done. Follow. So I don't lose my cool, male or female. I was with a group of Hujjaj traveling from Medina to Munawwara to Makkah to Mukarram on the 1st of Dhul Hijjah 1 year. It took us, I'm not exaggerating, it took us 24 hours from the time we stepped off the ledge of Movenpick Hotel in Medina to Munawwara till the time we entered the foyer of Dar al-Tawheed Hotel in Makkah to Mukarram. 24 hours on the bus. That's not even Hajj, it's Umrah. The Umrah of entering Makkah. Understand? Do I lose my cool? No. So subhanAllah, appreciate all these fine elements. If I make a choice, I know it comes with certain likelihoods, consequences, risks, etc. And I'm prepared to accept that. And similarly, if I haven't trained and I decide to walk and now I'm putting myself up to be a kamikaze, I potentially could spoil my whole Hajj. Right? So you must choose what is best for you. And don't bow to peer pressure. Because of the Rahman Layli made it on Hajj this year and he happens to be with our group, I have to walk. La wallah, no, you don't. You do, subhanAllah, what is within your capacity. Good. Now, yes. Question, someone? Right. Good. Excellent question. We don't work on meterage in this approach. Because the location of TTW's building, from CAP's building, from Yusra's building is different. They're more or less in the same area. Good. The allocation of where the camps are in Mina this year, even though it's, last year, even though it was the same the previous year, even though it was not the same but similar in 2022, may not be the same this year. So anyone giving you meterage is taking great chances. We work on what we refer to in this approach in terms of cycles. A cycle is roughly equivalent to an hour. Roughly equivalent to an hour. What happens in the hour? In this approach, we walk for 45 minutes, we rest for 15 minutes. Okay, you'll ask, how long is this? This would be a little bit more than one cycle, maybe 1 hour, 15 minutes tops. Knowing there is not going to be more than 1 hour, 15 minutes if there's no road closures, if the police don't change the route within 3 or 4 hours before Hajj, what am I saying? 3 and 4 hours before you actually walk, the astute guide walks the route and checks how the police are managing traffic flows. So as I mentioned, you think you're running hard on Hajj? The people who are facilitating your Hajj, if they really do it properly, they are running harder. They walk that route in the 3 hours before you walk to check, okay, cool. Police close this on-ramp, open that off-ramp, this gate is open, that gate is closed, we need to reroute this way. And knowing that within the 3 hours, they could change the regimen. You understand why apps and geolocation don't work? Now you'll understand. Fine. So it could be just a little bit more than a cycle. So let's say, for instance, it's going to take us an hour, 15 minutes, right? Does it necessitate after 45 minutes I stop if I know that I'm only going to walk 1 hour, 15 minutes? No. So we're just going to walk the whole thing and trudge along, irrespective of the fact that we passed the threshold of 45 minutes. As an example, what's the difference in terms of this walking and every other leg of Hajj? This is the only leg of Hajj that requires you to navigate an incline. Anyone who does Sunday morning walks, who does Hill Road and Orange Road, That's the reason we do Hill Road and Orange Road, because of this first morning's walk. Many people unknowingly walk the first morning or walk the trial walk or didn't walk the trial walk. Said, no, they're going to show them all the pinpoint locations and landmarks. I don't need to do that because my brother, son, cousin, whatever else is doing it. I'll just join them on the first morning. What happens? They walk the first morning. Yo, this is hectic. And then thinking the rest of Hajj is like that, they don't walk anything else and they lose out so much. So in class, we'll tell you, this is the only one that has an incline. If you can do this, alhamdulillah, you can do the rest. How do you know you can do this? Walk Hill Road and Orange Road. When? Sunday mornings. Join us. All right. So 1 hour, 15 minutes, subhanallah, you're going to be in the camp in Mina. Ya Allah, time, slide 20 of 81. Qalu inna lillah. Here, you get to Mina. First thing you do, you take out your phone. You can do this on the trial walk as well. In Mina, you're going to see this type of sign, right? So this sign, a square board, flag post, lamp post up in the air, mast, right? With a square board with a round circle inside containing a number in that circle tells you what region of Mina you are in. So think about Indonesia, the land of red sand and big ants that bite, right? Indonesia, you know that place there in the south? Fine. So in that place, you have extension 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, understand? So take that thinking, Mina. Region 4, region 5, region 6, region 8. Mina is huge. So the first thing you want to do when you come in, and you won't be able to do this on your bus ziyarah because you can't ride to the actual camp because the camp hasn't really been allocated with 100% certainty. So you'll only be able to do this likely on the trial walk 48 hours before, or if not, subhanallah, you do it then definitely when? On the day when you're walking. I want to know what region we're in. How do you capture what region we're in? You make a mental note, we're in region 4. No. At a time when you're dehydrated and your mind is not functioning, you won't remember 4. So you snap out your phone. Which group, WhatsApp group we invoke now? You know that one with the documents? That archive, that repository? Choops. Region 4. First picture. Cool. Where we in the street. Here's the entrance to our camp fence, not tent, right? Good. Region 4. Next, I walk to the closest intersection. This you would be able to do easier on the trial walk. I walk to the closest intersection, the closest crossroad. This is not the best illustration, but you get the idea. Street 415 intersecting with, let's just assume that was street 1. That's actually saying the direction of tent 1. So street number and street number. What's the closest crossroad? Write it down. Remember it in my mind? No. Oops. Snap a picture. Find it's there. All right. The next few pictures, some of them are older, some of them are newer. I won't show you the latest ones in terms of the rest of the global Hajj, because then I won't be managing your expectations properly. Why those pictures are better than you're going to see on your Hajj as a South African subscribing to Camp T, right? I've got those pictures. Nusuk Hajj, Lesotho, Australia, United States. I have them here on file, but I'm not going to show you them. So I'm going to show you a mixture of very old ones, or not very old ones, older ones and newer ones. All right. MashaAllah, this is what has been prepared for you in the 24 to 36 hours before Hajj. Maybe, say, for instance, you took a liking to Abdurrahman. I'm just using my name, so I won't call out any particular group just yet. And Abdurrahman was missing. 6th of Dhul Hijjah, I thought this oak's going to be with us on Hajj. We don't see him anymore. Where is he? He's in Mina. What's he doing? He's counting mattresses and pillows and blankets. To make sure, TWF, we have 1,025 Hujjaj. There's allocation based on males and females for 1,025. Yusra Tours, we have 650 Hujjaj. There's allocation for 650 mattresses. Making sure there's a mattress, there's a pillow, there's a blanket for each Hajj. Right? Like I said, older picture. This is not the mattresses you're going to see. I'll show you that a little bit later. When was this whole horse trading surrounding mattresses and pillows and blankets happening till? Most likely till Fajr. When you woke up there to take your ghusl, someone from your team or few people from your team was still busy. What else they're doing? They're putting up other signage. What signage? You can see this caps sticker here on the pillar, another cap sticker here on the pillar. So remember, my pictures are going to be different groups. I'm not marketing, advertising for anyone. Some of them will even be groups that no longer operate on Hajj. All right. And then, mashallah, eventually you arrive 1 hour, 15 minutes by walking, or you arrive by bus in just a few minutes or after a few hours, just depending. You're going to enter into Mina. When you enter now, fence. Fence means camp. So the other picture that you're going to take, what happened to that slide? Inshallah, it will come up just now, or did I miss it? No, slide missing. Okay, fine. No problem. So you're going to enter into the camp, right? So sometimes when we offload a bus, does walking Hajj offload a bus? When you get there as someone as part of the team, even if you walked with a group of 100 Hujjaj, you don't go and sleep. You're on duty. Okay, cool. Bus is coming. Bus is in the road. Meet them at the entrance. Fine. Get everyone off the bus. Brothers make one line. Sisters make one line. Not because it's school, because armbands. So we assist the officials, facilitate for them. Why? They're going to be looking after us for the next 6 days. If we aggravate them on day one, what type of service we're getting? Remember, there's no repeat clientele here. So we get a shoddy service because they know in their minds, you ain't coming back here ever again. Understand? So we do our part to visibly show them we are doing our best to accommodate them and facilitate their work. And then we get good service through the days of Hajj. So one line brothers, one line sisters. Okay, sisters, please all keep your armbands, visible. And the guy will check. All the sisters walk in. There'll be one of the sisters from your group who will then walk you into your actual, the white, walk you into your actual tent. Similarly, check all the brothers. Fine, we're into the camp. Okay, bus number 2 clear. Post on the staff chat, whatever else. Bus number 2 clear. 5 buses outstanding. Still another 250 people to come. What do we do with this bus number 250 Hujjaj that arrived? We need to settle them into the actual tent. So let's go settle ourselves in the tent. Fine. So now we're here in the walkway. You can see, subhanAllah, there's different signage that's been put up. This is from some years ago. Al-Noor Tourism, South Africa. Then here on the top, on the right-hand side, this one said Al-Jim, Al-Anwar Express Hajj and Umrah. Then you can see, subhanAllah, there's some other paraphernalia here, naturally either with some signage indicating men's tent or women's tent, like this one here has bearded guys. So this would have been a men's tent here on the left-hand side. And then eventually, mashallah, you get into your tent. What did we have on our slide with all the bullets? Choosing a spot. So we're going to show you choosing a spot just now. Anyone can tell me men's tent or ladies' tent? Huh? Why? Pink, bag color. Okay. Some brothers from Cape Town like pink. That's the giveaway. Closed footwear. Definitely female tent. Okay. MashaAllah. Good spot. Both of them. All right. So, sisters here in the tent. Now we talk about choosing a spot. Will I choose the mattress closest to the tarafe? Why not closest to the tarafe? Everyone's going to be stomping on me when the lights are turned off. Okay. One of the advantages of walking, you must read the room. So when they're doing the briefing in the days before you leave for Hajj, walking group will leave at this time, buses are scheduled to leave at this time. You must accommodate, okay, bus minimum it will take them to get there is 10 minutes, right? Best case scenario. Cool. Walking this time, I'm able-bodied. If I go at this time and I walk based on the scheduled time for the bus is not going to be there. I'll get first mover advantage. I'll be in the camp. I can choose my place. You're moving in groups of 500 plus. Follow? These are important considerations. Yeah. All right. Let's share with you something else about the buses. When they load you on the bus in Azizia, you're going to laugh at this. When they load you on the bus in Azizia and they close the bus doors, close the door, right? Like they take this first, they close the door. You know what they do? They slap a sticker across the door. Security seal. If that seal is, I'm not joking, if that seal is broken when your bus makes landfall in Mina, no one gets off that bus till they call in senior officials. They're that stringent about managing Hujjaj who don't have tasrih permits or visas. You can't say, okay, Abdurrahman, stand down the road there. You came on a tourist visa. We like you. You give nice talks. We'll pick you up. That's strict. This is going to have implications to our movement somewhat, as you'll see in the coming days. Fine, subhanAllah. So now, sisters came in here. MashaAllah, you can see the one sister now. She's in the actual tent. She's the sister who most probably wore niqab. Right, so how do we know that? Because she has kind of like a cap. and the cap is raised. You'll ask me why I use the picture. You can't make out her facial features. Just to show you. So now you're in an area where you can somewhat be a little bit more comfortable as a female, right? We spoke about the whole ihram and niqab story in our class before. I think we did. Good. How do I choose a spot? So sister said I choose a spot where there's the aircon. So the aircon is here. Which mattress must I choose? The aircon is here. Which mattress must I choose? The one just beneath the aircon? 2 or 3 away based on where it's going to blow. What's the implications of where it's going to blow? 24/7, that air is going to blow on me. When the temperatures drop by a good 7, 8, 10 degrees at night, will I manage? I must decide and I must know for myself. Will I be comfortable? Because maybe I become an ice pack. Not going to get that cold, but you get the idea. So 45 odd degrees. It's going to drop to maybe 25 degrees, 20 degrees at the end of the night. Can I now tell the other sister, Maf, sorry, can we change mattresses? Must choose smartly up front. Good. You want to be where there's some natural ventilation. So look at, subhanAllah, where the entrances to the camps are, but naturally not the first one, because as we said, someone's going to stomp over you. You want to be where you're getting some of that breeze, but naturally not in. So maybe the breeze, based on how the positioning of the mattress is, I must go actually lie down, check this one out. Okay, this blower is blowing now. It doesn't blow onto my head. Lacquer. Follow. This blower is blowing on my head. Not smart. Nasal congestion, blah, blah, blah. So all of those things, subhanAllah, you give credence to in terms of your choice. All right, mashallah, we got the 2 sisters here. There may be a few more, but these 2 particular, and maybe the brother with the Adidas t-shirt in the back, they would be my closest allies, gender specific, right, and gender related, when I came into Mina in terms of choosing a spot. Why? Because they're tall. I want to be good friends with them. Because I'm not 2 meters tall, I can't reach the plug point. Where's the plug point? You see here where my pointer is. That is, yeah, you are laughing at me with a 3-meter charging cable, no? You see the wisdom now? Because you're making tilawa on your phone because you didn't carry your phone with you, listen. Now, mashallah, you're making tilawa because you set yourself a goal. I'm going to make 1 khatam on the days of Hajj. Here's you with your phone because of your 1-meter cable. Reading here like this. Understand? See the difference with the 3-meter cable? Yeah, sometimes the people think, no, maybe he's a bit over the top. No. He's playing properly. All right, fine. Ideally, the smart operator is going to say, this is our tent. Okay, there's 6 plug points here. Team, go to the hardware store. Buy 6 extension cords with multi-plug adapters. That would be a smart operator. Inshallah, all 3 operators, inshallah, are smart. And they are meticulous. Amen. Say Amen. This is your interest. I've been on Hajj years where we've got 180 Hujjaj. And to address the 180 Hujjaj, they bring me one of those karaoke boxes. You know when you go and you have a picnic with your friends, and you take a little karaoke box with a mic with. How can you speak to 180 people with a division between male and female using a karaoke box for 6 people to sing and dance in a park? That's why I'm saying, may Allah grant you operators who are meticulous. Because if they're not meticulous, sisters are like, the Dhuhr Salah happened already. So the smart operator, mashallah, has all of this covered. And inshallah they are. Your PA system will be in place. But now I'm not too sure about the multi-plug extension and the extension code. All right? That's why you got 3-meter cable. Even if they have a multi-plug and extension cable, does your 3-meter cable go to waste? No. Because maybe I chose a mattress that's a little bit far from the plug point. Now I don't have to be right there by where the extension lead falls onto the ground. I still can go across 2 people, move my wire, got my plug point right by myself, able to charge my phone. Got me? Good. So, subhanAllah, why are the tall people my allies? Because they can reach the plug point. At that plug point, the electrical reticulation, there is a single plug point. There's the light switches, and there's the blower or fan switches, all in the same box. Electrical reticulation, you'll appreciate, subhanAllah, from your homes, right? Smart person is like, let's just give you a name. All day I dream about Salah, right? Adidas. Okay, so we call you Salah. So brother Salah, mashallah, can you kindly turn off the blower? Because we're going to sleep now. Or turn off the lights at 10:30 p.m. Let's call it 11 p.m. because Isha is late, so we can all rest a bit. Understand? So one of the taller people will assist. If there's no tall people, someone stand on Abdurrahman's shoulders in Ihram. Fiddle there, right? Good. So where's a safe, comfortable place to be? Naturally, plug point makes some sense, right? But what else? Some natural ventilation. Gee, you say? Excellent. So good thinking. So all the different elements, I may not get all. How do I get the best portions of the different areas of consideration? Understand? So I'm against a kind of wall, either the wall of the tent or I'm close to a pillar. Why? These structures are sturdy, proper sturdy. They withstand the desert climate the whole year round. It's there. Like right now, you go to Mina, it's there. The side walls are not there, but the rest of the tent is there, right? They are fire repellent. You can't burn this tent. Doesn't mean you must smoke in Ihram. Don't light a hookah pipe, something of the sort. They are fire repellent. Why? They were built after the Hajj of 1997 when there were fires on Hajj. Talha was in school that year. My parents visited him at his home in Jeddah. Lo and behold, he used to go to school at night or late afternoon. Isn't it? Yeah. MashaAllah. Good. Also appreciation of how things are culturally different in different parts of the world. We're spending too much of time here. But anyway, subhanAllah, you get some idea. Why is all of this important? Why am I making a big fuss about all of this? Because this facilitates the freedom, the ease, the comfort, the liberty of your mind. And when your mind is at ease, the quality of your ibadah is better. Go back to when we did time and energy management. You remember the pyramid? Quality of my thoughts. Inform my emotions. Inform my responses to anything that I'm either in control of or not in control of. Some of you are looking a little bit glazy eyes. I appreciate that. That's because you haven't streamed some of the previous links. So some of this is not making sense to you, but that's fine. No problem. Good. Let's go to the bathrooms. This is a male bathroom or female bathroom? Hard to say, eh? The signs on the doors, it's a female bathroom. Where is it? It's next to the road. Oh my word. Don't say, oh my God, because we believe in Allah. We submit to Him, right? Not to God. Anyway, just throwing that in there. So subhanAllah, comfortable. Because when I close the door, what? Like privacy, seclusion. Your historical experience as someone living with all these creature comforts is it's almost as if your bathrooms at home are soundproof. Right, let's be honest. They're not soundproof, yeah? But from a Shari'i perspective, must the bathroom be soundproof? No. Concealed. You can't see me. No problem. I can do my business. So appreciate these may happen. If you're thinking like, no, that's not going to happen. Okay, let's take you a little bit to the past. I won't spend too much time here, mashallah. Those mosaic tiles that were by your grandmom's house, you know, on the walls and on the floor and everything else. That's what the bathrooms used to look like some years ago. What did they do? Did they break down all the bathrooms and build new ones? No, they simply scraped the tiles off, put flat concrete cement, mashallah, put a little bit of fancy lighting, like down lighting, whatever else, created a false ceiling, and then made it look pretty. So you're in the same facility. Lovely. Let's go. MashaAllah. Those were the basins, porcelain basins. Now, mashallah, we got plastic basins. All right. That's your facilities in Mina. Okay, you want to deep dive, go into the cubicles? What do you want to read? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. A'udhu billahi minash shaitan ar-Rajim. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Whichever one you read. Let's go. There are 2 Eastern pens at maximum on every block. Sorry, 2 Western pens. One is paraplegic, one is general. If there isn't a paraplegic one, there's only one. Can you see the width of that cubicle? No, this is real. It's not Photoshop. This is not AI generated. This is the real thing, brothers and sisters. 2 Western pens. One paraplegic, the one on the left, and one, subhanAllah, as a Western pen. The paraplegic one actually is wider because a wheelchair needs to fit inside. All right? The other one is like this. All South Africans, most South Africans, 95% of South Africans use which bathrooms? Western pen. If I didn't mention to you before, between now and jumping on the plane, up your squatting game. Yeah, easy, sunnah. Up your squatting game. Because the queue for the bathroom is not because there isn't cubicles. It's because everyone, males and females, now we must still superimpose the domestos and the gloves and the time that you take, cycle time through the, yeah, all of that dramas. What do you think is on the other side of this cubicle? So there's one row of cubicles here. There's a wall there at the back of the cubicle. What's on the other side? The men's cubicles. Like I hear, please pass me. Do you have a spare set of gloves? I hear all of that there on the other side. I'm not even joking. Next, inshallah, next Hajj, I'm going to record some of this and then play it back here in class. And I laugh. I'm like, ya Allah, these people, they definitely not from my class. Definitely not from my class. Domestos, this, that, cheek, mashallah, this detergent, that wipe. Right. So that's the Western pen. Okay, let's look at an Eastern pen. What do you see? What's this here? The shower head. Yeah, no, that's the shower head. AKA, I want to take a shower. Yeah, boy, yes. Welcome to Hajj. Even if I don't teach you any fiqh today, this is enough. Managing expectations. Okay, so both on the Western pen and the Eastern pen, there's a shower head above the toilet. How often in a 360-day cycle do they use this? 6 odd days. Preparing, checking every cubicle, call it 3 weeks before, maximum. Right? Changing the flashing boards, whatever else, light bulbs, this probe, because it's out there in the desert, right? The whole year. Checking the plumbing. Okay. Do you think all those shower heads, when you turn it off, then no water drips out? No, water is dripping. But it's hot. Like, oh, water, it's water. Hello, it's water. It's cooling you down. Chill. Now you want to change your clothes and relax. It's water. It can't be any other liquid dripping down from there. Understand? You have to have this appreciation. Now the sister is going to be like, you talk about choosing the spot. Now you must talk about how to choose a bathroom. No. Get your squatting game in order. There's enough Eastern pens available. Boom. You're into the Eastern pen. You latch, subhanAllah, the door behind you. You got your chegas. You operate. Okay. Do I make wudu here? Why? Who's in the toilet? But you're making ghusl here. What's the problem making wudu here? Do I have to make wudu here? No. There's a separate place for wudu. You showed it to us there in the other picture. But there's a queue to use each of these cubicles, and then there's a new queue to use each of those wudu stands. So what's the practical thing to do? Get in here, get in, close the cubicle, take the shower hose that you use for istinja, hose the place off. What's happening in my mind? Yaqinan, with certainty. This is water. It's this particular one, no. How do I know that? You can see, subhanAllah, some plumbing here on the other end. But they're all the same, right? That was just to show you. It's a ladies and it's been allocated close to the road. Because we can't have this much consideration with accommodating 2.5 million. Oh, sisters, it's next to the road. Sharks, break it down, go and build it. No. Like, khalas, it's there. It meets the minimum requirement. It's private. It's concealed. Khalas, done. It's not air-proof, whatever else, soundproof. Get what I'm saying? Done. Can I hear you talking about the domestos and stuff? Yes, I can. So when you're making all long chuchas there, mashallah, at the bathrooms, all the brothers are hearing you. Sister, mashallah, is in niqab, in haram, wore big cap, doesn't want the niqab to touch her face, but she's saying past the domestos. Is her voice not aura? Be practical. Good. Fine. Yes. So, brothers, let me add to that, subhanAllah. Ini haram. How are you going to use a Western pen? Take the top piece off, throw it over the door. You can see the gap here in the door, as I mentioned. Right. Throwing your ihram or some piece of clothing over the door in this gap is saying what to everyone outside? Let's say, for instance, the latch don't work. Yeah, yeah. You think if that latch breaks, how many people are going through this bathroom? Thousands. Not in Mina, but on Muzdalifah, etc. The latch breaks. You think, mashallah, there's a carpenter who's standing there, with his pneumatic screwdriver. Put it. No, done. You think there's quality control, subhanAllah, ISO standard, someone who's checking every bathroom on the mashayikh? This latch works. Toilet number 25689, the latch is broke. That Bengali, Egyptian, Somali, Sudanese, whatever nationality that they hired to make sure all that, you think he's doing like a proper Muslims? Have you ever contracted with Muslims before in your life? Do they do a proper job? Sadly not, right? Same story. So when you throw a piece of clothing over, what does it tell everyone outside? Engaged, occupied. Khalas. It's a universal no. Do I have to speak the language of the person who's outside? No. Okay. Fine. So I go in there, use the shower, clean off. Fine. Do my business. Brothers, top piece of ihram over the door, right? Or even left on your bed, on your mattress, covered. Remember, your navel shouldn't show Hanafi or Shafi. So you make sure that your bottom piece is over your navel. How do I manage now? Western pen, Eastern pen. Eastern pen preference? Oh, I shouldn't have, because I'm wearing denim straight because I'm going straight to a work engagement after this. And I wore the denims to show you that you can wear this pair of ihram sandals even casually after Hajj. So it's not a waste in terms of when you buy other ihram footwear, it lies in the cupboard till Allah accepts you for your next Umrah. Right? And you can see based on the colors, they have charcoal and black, charcoal, smoke, white, and blue. This one's faded because it's done many trips and went through the washing many times, right? So I simply roll my ihram, top, bottom piece up, roll it up, sit down, do my business, make istinja, roll it down. I don't remove the ihram every time because the cubicle is kind of small. You'll be comfortable. The way, inshallah, I will show you to tie ihram. You tie it once, even you're only going to wear it for maximum 3 days. You can wear it for 6 days, it won't fall off. Just roll, unroll. Right, natural air conditioning, mashallah. But I have a habit that after I make istinja with water, I use toilet paper to wipe myself. Okay, you don't have to raise your hands. You all do this, right? The pipes here in Mina, let me go back, even in Azizia, are not meant to accommodate you using half a toilet roll per session. They clog. So when you use toilet paper, lot of it, and subhanAllah, you flush it, it blocks the pipes. When it blocks the pipes, the bathroom overflows. When it overflows, you are walking in, you add whatever adjectives you want to add. You're walking in poo and pee. So what am I saying? Be conscious that it's extremely hot. You don't need to use a lot of toilet paper to wipe yourself off after making istinja with water. I'm sure you all make istinja with water, right? Not with toilet paper. I mean, that much I'm sure. All come through our country, you've learned about tahara, etc. at some basic level. Other parts of the world, it's a bit different. From a fiqh perspective, alhamdulillah, they comply. Because in the time of Muhammad sallallahu, they would use clumps of earth. Fine, all right? There would be in the ladies section, in some of them, there would be hygiene bins. Use the hygiene bins. Yes, use the hygiene bins to dispose of whatever toiletries you utilize. Don't flush it. You flush it, you create a problem for yourself. Let's say on this block, you flushed, mashallah, in the high pit. Hamstrung. All the sisters. Why? Because the only single eye pen now is blocked. You know what I'm saying? So keep that, mashallah, in mind. It's like there's supposed to be a Hajj class, supposed to learn about what we must read, etc. He's showing us the toilets. Okay, let's go now. We offloaded, now we must reload. So tea station, breakfast. Breakfast, one earned day, little bit of tea. On the days of Hajj, are you always going to eat hot served meals? No. Remember what we spoke about energy management. The crux of your trip is at the end. You must be in the best possible state of health, mind, body, spirit, etc. What are you doing in these Azizia days in terms of consumption? More stuff that comes out of the ground and less stuff that comes out of packaging. Fresh fruit, fresh juice. Understand? More paki, less chucky. I'm talking about your Azizia days. Why? Replenishing your body on a cellular level. Because on the days of Hajj, just based on the sheer number of people, they're not serving you eggs, Mark, would you like it sunny side up? Not happening. Follow. So this is breakfast. One kiri cheese there, mashallah, from where? New Zealand, right? Maybe a croissant. Anyone ate crepe here? You know what's crepe? Some fine dining. Crepe. No, people don't know what's crepe. Okay. Maybe crepe, mashallah. One, what's called a chocolate donut. I don't know how much chocolate on the donut. All right. One, your mama, little cake there. Second, your mama, little cake. And then this is the creme de la creme. There's a jam there at the bottom, right? To jam you up. And then this cheese. Anyone know what brand this is? Huh? No, Laughing Cow. Because you have to laugh at the portion size and what you're eating. All right. So, mashallah, that's your breakfast. Serve. Here's your breakfast sample. How many people in this row? 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 16. Khalas. Next row. Understand? Tea and coffee station outside. Sort yourself out. Anything better? Alhamdulillah. You're going to come back and say, he lied to us. No, this is fresh pictures. Hajj 2022. 1 in a million. They only had 893,000. I can't remember the exact figures, the last 3 digits. 894,000 Hujjaj to look after. Right? The first full-blown Hajj post-COVID. Now they have much more people. There are other tiers of service where you get the scrambled eggs and all of that, but we're not subscribing to that, right? Alhamdulillah. But knowing this tells me what? The 7 days prior. Remember when I said breakfast in Medina, eat like a king? Eat like a king, yani. The whole, through Azizia, etc., etc. Because what I've taken in on a cellular level must sustain me for as long as possible through these days. I mustn't fall in terms of slump, in terms of energy, etc. Is this nutritious? Follow? But it's to just sustain myself. Now, my choice of snacks, what I'm going to snack on in my day pack I've got for my 24-hour supply, is taking into account, okay, cool, this is the likely food that I'm going to get. What's going to supplement me from a nutritious perspective, from a wholesome perspective? You think you're just going to be able to eat on the fly if you haven't trained yourself to eat breakfast mix? You're like, watermelon seeds. Understand? Because now you've been eating Nestle and Cadbury's and Beacon all the other time. No, sorry, for this class, I must say, because we're in Portugal, you've been eating Lindt all the other time. No. Understand? So you have to get used to and accustomed to this. Ya Allah, we're moving very slowly. Okay, so now we've come into Mina. We found, subhanAllah, chosen our spot. What's the first thing we do from an ibadah perspective? How did we leave Azizia? We left Azizia in wudu. Where did we learn this from? We learned this from Quba. The ayat of Quran that speak about Quba, right? لَمَسْجِدٌ أُسِّسَ عَلَى التَّقْوَى مِنْ أَوَّلِ يَوْمٍ أَحَقُّ أَن تَقُومَ فِيهِ فِيهِ رِجَالٌ يُحِبُّونَ أَن يَتَطَهَّرُوا. Then you would find the people of purity. So we learned about ritual purity. Whenever I depart, I walk out of the place where I sleep, yani my home, my apartment, my hotel room, I am in the state of wudu. The wudu lasted for 1 hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes. Maybe, maybe not. My wudu game is not so strong. No problem. I get to Mina. I choose a spot. I put my bags down. I go and familiarize myself not just with the closest bathroom, with 2 or 3 bathrooms in my camp. Why? I don't know what's the loading going to be on the bathroom. Let's call it 8 o'clock in the morning at 11 o'clock. because now I first mover advantage. I came walking, right? All the people are not here yet. I don't know which tents they're going to be allocated. Are all the people in this particular camp South African? No, it's all people from different parts of the world who subscribe to the same tier of service. So there's likely to be a Lebanese tent, and likely, not definitely, or an Iranian tent, or a Malawian tent, or a Zimbabwean tent. Look at them all, African people. Na'udhu billah. Yeah, they got more money than you. They, mashallah, subscribe to the same tier of service like you. So appreciate them in that manner. Don't look down on any fellow to judge because they don't speak English or they're from a different part of the world, etc., etc. Fine. I went, I checked out the 3 bathrooms. Okay, they're all quiet now at this time in the morning. I relieved myself. First round, thought about Abdurrahman, don't make dua for me in the bathroom. When you come out, then you can make dua. Like, alhamdulillah, he showed us this in class. It wasn't so bad. I'm going to manage this for another 6 days. What happened? I did my job, made istinja. Then I got the hose. Wudu done. I don't have to stand in a separate queue. Come out, get back to my mattress. When I get back to my mattress, what is the first thing I do? وَقَلِيلٌ مِّنْ عِبَادِيَ الشَّكُورِ. Allah mentions in Quran, and few are from my grateful servants. I make salat shukr. Oh Allah, you granted me the opportunity after so many years, appreciating so many billion people on the globe, appreciating, subhanAllah, that I'm relatively younger to so many of the other hujjaj that I've seen over the last 4 or 5 weeks of my trip. And Allah, you've eventually allowed me to be here in Mina, in the state of Ihram, on the days of Hajj. Can you imagine how sweet that salah will be? Just with those few thoughts. What time of the morning is it? It's definitely after sunrise. So naturally, with this, either the same 2 rakah or a separate 2 rakah, I mean, your own individual flair to your ibadah. I'm just saying, would a person be able to say, no, because it's nafal salah, I'll make niyyah of ishraq together with this 2 rakah of salatu shukr? Like, I wouldn't be able to. No way, it's be like, this is too special to combine any niyyah. Your own flair to your ibadah. Nothing wrong if you do follow, make the 2 rakah of, make your ishraq, make salatu shukr. Ishraq would be the first salah you would make somewhat, because if it's very soon after sunrise, give preference to that. Bank the reward of an Umrah. Remember, the second 2 rakah that you make after sunrise entitles you to the reward of an Umrah, right? And then, subhanAllah, salatu shukr. So I started my innings here in Mina with ibadah. What's everyone else doing? They're looking for Abdurrahman. Abdurrahman, did bus 3 arrive because I kept a mattress for Ibrahim? Like, guy, I still got 6 buses out on the road. Can you go and do your thing and start your Hajj instead of playing? Understand? So keep yourself busy in ibadah. Right. Let's go back to time management. What was I doing late morning? What was I doing? Mina, Medina, Makkah, Azizia. What was I doing late morning? Don't be shy. Sleep. Because as the hours pass, more people are coming. More noise, more heat. More comfortable to sleep, less comfortable to sleep, less comfortable to sleep. Sleep. It's not the same quality sleep like I got in Azizia or in Makkah or in Medina. But let me rest. Remember we had that bullet precious sleep. Khalas, rest. What time do I want to be awake? Like, okay, we haven't done a full day here, but in Cape Town, subhanAllah, in the class, somewhere in the afternoon, an alarm would go off on my phone. And everyone like looks around like, who's this person who didn't put their phone on silent? It's my daily alarm to take my afternoon nap. So by this stage, in terms of your phone, Samsung, Apple, Oppo, whatever else, you would have alarms, right? 10:30, 10:45, 11 o'clock, whatever the time is, so that I can get ready. I can wake up, I can refresh myself, and I can be ready for 1 hour before ibadah. Turn, alarm goes off, you wake up, you go to the bathroom. What's everyone else doing around you? What were you doing just now? Sleeping. So they came into the tent. You created an environment of what? Of sleeping. Is it a bad thing? No, it's not a bad thing, because your niyyah was, I must be refreshed, rejuvenated for what lies ahead. Remember, we're thinking steps ahead. So everyone came in, they're like, oh, okay, it seems like the thing we should be doing is sleeping because Abdurrahman is sleeping, Fatima is sleeping. No problem. So they all went to sleep. Now you woke up, you went to the bathroom, You did your job. Second round now already. Right? Offload breakfast, mashallah. Come back an hour before dhuhr. Well, how did you start? You came back. You made maybe tahiyatul wudu, and then you made salatul duha. And then let's say, for instance, let's take a brother's example for now. So, mashallah, alongside me, I must choose a name that we don't have often in South Africa, is brother Ghafir. Okay, so Ghafir is next to me, and then he turns as he's sleeping, and then he's like, eye opens, and then he sees Abdurrahman is making salah. What's a thought that goes through his heart and mind? Yo, I'm in Mina, I'm on Hajj. Other people are making ibadah, I'm sleeping, I should wake up. Okay, so he goes to the bathroom. He doesn't know about 1 hour before salah and all of that, but he goes to the bathroom and he comes and maybe he makes salah, maybe he reads Quran, whatever else. Who gets the reward? الدال على الخير كفاعله. Habibuna Mustafa Muhammad said, the one who points to a good action is like the doer of good action. Become the person who's the trendsetter, who sets the environment for other people to do good. Wallahi, you will only see the reward that needs to accrue to you in Jannah. When you will come before Allah in Jannah and Allah will say, on your Hajj, you read so much, you'll be like, Allah, no way I could have read so much of Nafal Salah. But then Allah will have the Malaika recount to you that, you know, Ghafir, who was sleeping next to you, and Ahmad, who Ghafir met in the aisle, who was taking a smoke. Ghafir told him, no, he's going to take wudu because he's making ibadah. Ahmad decided, let me squash this guy now, and let me also make wudu. You know, understand the domino effect? Who's getting all that ajr? You. Is there any nifaq and hypocrisy in your heart that someone is going to think, as I mentioned earlier on, oh, mashallah, check this name. She thinks she's the Because your aada, you've been doing this every day and you're just accumulating reward. What did I say? Empower yourself in your preparation for Hajj, that you are able to, with hikmah and wisdom and kind words, be able to not only complete your Hajj with excellence, but be able to do what? Be able to lead others in Hajj. Do you have to be a public speaker? No. Just by virtue of your actions. How did Sahaba radhiallahu anhum, subhanAllah, spread deen? By going to every person. You know, brother, we follow Muhammad. No, just by the character and the akhlaq. You can be that person on Hajj. To the extent of, subhanAllah, I won't highlight or spot. We're on, inna lillah, we're on 10 to 12. To the extent that, subhanAllah, in our classes, there have been people who've reached out to me, Maana, I'm here on Mina. Cool. This is a bit more than I can handle. Now the people are asking me XYZ, how to. Understand? So you became a beacon of light, hope, inspiration, guidance for others. And naturally, if it's beyond your scope and capacity, that's where the 24/7 support comes in. Maana, they're asking this, whatever. Why are they asking you? Remember, I gave the example just now. You came to Abdurrahman, you ask him, where's Bastri? Abdurrahman, who's the khadim, the volunteer, the imam, the maulana, the sheikh, whatever else, does he have time to come and now baby each of you and say, okay, brothers and sisters, we're in Mina now, this is what you should be doing? No. He's got other stuff that's important for him to do so that you can be free to make ibadah. He must make sure bus 6 gets in as our last bus, as an example. Understand? Before he can come and say, okay, Hujjaj, mashallah, is everyone okay? Follow. But you need to know, you can't be waiting. Okay, when Abdurrahman comes, because YOLO, you only live once, one Hajj. No second chance. Good? So you're on ibadah. In my mind, I'm thinking we still got an hour. Qalu inna lillah. Okay, so how do they set up their tent, these Hujjaj? Tartib, system. وَأَكْوَابٌ مَوْضُوعَةٌ. Remember the goblet firmly placed. Put all their bags in a row. Fine. So there's some order. We're not walking over each other's stuff. No one's tripping, etc. Those who have physical masahif, naturally they've made a way of suspending their bags or their satchels or their slings with the masahif a little bit higher. All right. You'll see 1, 2 chegas there on the side here and there, an umbrella there. MashaAllah, what will the umbrella double up as? Umbrella will double up to be able to move the rungs of the blower so that we can incline. So even if you chose the one way it was hitting you in the morning, what can you do? Change the levers. So it's just moving around, but it's not on any particular person. All these kind of dynamics are happening. What do we have here? We have Sheikh Masood, Sheikh Nag, a graduate of Jamia Madinatul Munawwara, who resides in Botswana, who's one of my, subhanAllah, very close ahbab and friends. who's giving an address to the Hujjaj, right? These particular Hujjaj, and I choose the pictures deliberately, these Hujjaj were handpicked, 3 or 4 from every country, contingent of 30 of them, many of them who had just taken Shahada in the days before they were boarded onto the plane for Hajj. So you said this, wow, inshallah, you're seeing it that way, this wow class. They don't know how to make salah yet. And that's Hajj. Do I look down on them as Abdurrahman? Oh, I'm hating on you. You don't know how to make Hajj. Or do I have a heart that's wide and open enough to say, these are from Allah's choicest servants who Allah chose to stand on Arafah this year, and Allah sent them to me as these 30, and I'm going to give specific dedicated time to them. I know they don't know about tahara, about istinja, about how to use the bathroom. They maybe haven't seen running water in their life. All around you. What type of heart do you have? Is this only for Mu'allima so-and-so and Sheikha so-and-so and Maulana so-and-so to do? Or is it an opportunity for you? One of our classmates, subhanAllah, reached out to me this week and mentioned there's an elderly sister who wants to join the class on Saturday. I shared with you the link and I said, please have her register or assist her to register. Why? That's an opportunity for you to earn reward. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Maybe she said she doesn't want to come to the class. But would it have killed you? I'm just saying, ideal sense, to take out 10 minutes of your time to say, Appa, I got your name. Give me the correct spelling of your surname. I got your phone number. I'll register for you. I'm going to pick you up on Saturday morning and bring you to class. Seek out the opportunities on your journey to make your Jannah. There's an elderly person. There's a weaker person. There's a sickly person. Subhanallah. There's maybe a person who's illiterate next to you. Make your Jannah. You didn't even stand on Arafah yet. Banked, subhanallah, banked. Hajj upon Hajj, addalu ala al-khair kafa'ilihi, everything you tell that uncle. Does he know all fancy du'as? Did he write a voluminous 3-volume du'a book? No. Okay, now you must just say Allahu Akbar. Or just say Allah, Allah, Allah. Like that level. Just say Allah. When Arafah doesn't know what, you just say Allah. Just say Allah's name whole day. I'm tired, no problem, sleep. I'll wake you up just now, then you say Allah again. Fine. Do you have a heart that's that open? To be able to spend time with Allah's guests and appreciate each of them is as special as you. So subhanallah. You're still in me now. Sheikh Masood, mashallah, giving the talk there. Fine, we carry on. Now, brothers, you want to take some rest, right? After the door. Let's say it's after the door. Okay. Etiquette of brothers sleeping in ihram. What must happen? When you decide to sleep in ihram, subhanallah, if I could, I would drop for you 2024 speeches, but I said I don't want to because I want to manage your expectations realistically. I would drop for you the nusuk pictures of 2024, and these pictures, some of them have a timestamp. I'll check one of them. These are arguably at least 12, if not 15 or 18 years old. What do you see about the brothers in the bottom portion of the picture compared to the brother there in the middle? The ones here in the bottom portion, bottom right-hand corner, let's use this pointer. Brothers in the bottom right-hand corner picture of the picture are covered. Brother here runs what risk? Like would happen with any garment when you're sleeping, male or female. The garment will lift. When the garment lifts, what happens? His knees become exposed. Okay, his knees are fine because maybe he follows Shafi fiqh. But when it comes to his half of his thighs, then he has exposed what? His aura. In what state? In the state of ihram. So etiquette for brothers when you're sleeping, I appreciate it's hot. Don't use the blanket. Don't. You write it down. Don't use the blanket. What do? Take the top piece of the ihram off, tuck it under your heels and pull it over you. Kind of like how this brother is. Naturally, they use the blanket, right? But you can use the top piece of your ihram because the ihram, even Egyptian cotton, is going to get kind of wet because you're perspiring. So that way, the bottom, the top portion of your body gets some aeration, right? Some ventilation. And even if you turn whilst you're sleeping, there's less risk that, let me be crude, that you will crack someone into the future because you are not wearing underpants. So don't violate my Hajj by you not being diligent. Good. Be very cognizant of this, brothers. Same. And inshallah, none of you will be those. Inshallah, you'll all quit smoking for those that smoked before you board the plane for Hajj before Ramadan, inshallah, even. Wives are all saying Amin, Amin, Amin. And then you can use the cigarette money to buy your new dress every month. Amin. Say Amin now. Fine. Like Subhanallah, because then you sit on the half wall outside the camp. So they're on the wall outside the fence, sitting there, having your smoke. But what's happening? We sing pole and sack. Because you're not wearing underpants, you don't have pants on. The way you're sitting as people are walking past. And is anyone going to stop and say, Maaf, brother? No, no one going to stop and say, Maaf. They're all just going to go, stuck. My Hajj. Follow? Okay. Ya Allah, team, what do we do here? Okay, let me try and fast forward somewhat. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Allah open for us. Khair. So we've only covered a portion of Mina. We're assuming this is our afternoon nap. The same procedure in terms of time works, right? So an hour, a little bit more before Asr, go use the bathroom, come back, make ibadah. What ibadah am I making? The same. I mean, Mina, it's relatively stationary compared to what's going to happen on the 2 days after this. I will come back to Mina eventually, but what I do want to do on this day, let me open that khatm of Quran. Juz before, half a juz after. Which means that even before I go to Arafah, what's likely to happen? Maybe I'm 8, 9 juz down. Even 7.5 juz down. No problem. Some distractions because, you know, it's very claustrophobic here and there's lots of people and lots of movement, whatever else. I'm coming back to Mina after Muzdalifah, etc. What happens? I got another 2.5 days. Khatam in the bag. But what about at Arafah? In the days in Azizah, what was I doing? I was reading Quran. I left those 3 surah. I told Allah, Allah, when I open my wukuf at Arafah, I'm going to open my wukuf at Arafah with Khatmul Quran. Follow? It's very different from all the stuff you're hearing in the other classes. One khatam in Madinatul Munawwara, one khatam in Makkatul Mukarramah, a defeatist. Understand? So you preparing what you're going to give forward as an offering to Allah in terms of your acts of devotion and submission at every stage of the journey. Like we said in Madinatul Munawwara, I would have read when I made my Rawda appointment, Khatmul Quran. When I saw the Kaaba for the first time, I have 3 surahs left. Dua of sighting of the Kaaba together with Khatmul Quran. Dua at Arafah together with Khatmul Quran. Get what I'm saying? So now you're opening this up now and starting to work towards my final dua when I leave Hajj is going to also be with me closing off with the Khatmul Quran. Possible? Some are looking at me. Inshallah, very possible. We're on 12 o'clock. Okay.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك. إلى عرفات، إلى عرفات، إلى المكان الذي تسكب فيه الدمعات وتقال فيه العثرات ويباهي رب الأرض والسماوات بمن وقفوا في ذلك المكان. يباهي بنا الملائكة سبحانه وتعالى في يوم عرفة فيغفر ذنب هذا ويستر عيب هذا ويجبر كسر هذا ويروي ظمأ هذا ويسد جوع هذا ويقضي دين هذا. فربنا سبحانه وتعالى كل يوم هو في شأن. يقول عبد الله بن المبارك رحمه الله: دخلت على سفيان الثوري وهو قد جثى على ركبتيه وعيناه تذرفان، فقال: من أسوأ الناس حالا يا سفيان في هذا اليوم؟ قال رحمه الله: الذي يظن أن الله لن يغفر له. في هذا اليوم يغفر الله تبارك وتعالى الذنوب كلها، أولها وآخرها، دقها وجلها، ما علمت منها وما لم تعلم.
إلى عرفات سنمضي غدا وشوق بقلب المحب بدا، فهذا مقام الدعاء الذي يجاب، فمدوا لربي اليدا، يجاب فمدوا لربي اليدا. يباهي بكم ربكم فاسعدوا، وينزل يسمع كل الندى، فهلوا دموع الأسى توبة، وقولوا أتيناك يا ذا العلا وقولوا أتيناك يا ذا العلا.
جاء في الحديث عن أنس بن مالك رضي الله عنه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم طلب من بلال رضي الله عنه أن ينصت له الناس، فأنصت الناس واجتمعوا ووقفوا بين يدي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم، فقال عليه الصلاة والسلام: أتاني جبريل آنفا فأقرأني من ربي السلام، وقال: إن الله قد غفر لأهل الموقف وأهل المشعر وضمن لهم التبعات. فقام عمر رضي الله عنه فقال: يا رسول الله، يا رسول الله، أهي لنا خاصة؟ جزى الله عنا عمر خير الجزاء. تدخل عمر رضي الله عنه في الوقت المناسب فقال: يا رسول الله، أهي لنا خاصة؟ فقال: صلوات ربي وسلامه عليه هي لكم ولمن جاء بعدكم إلى يوم القيامة. فقال عمر رضي الله عنه: كثر خير الله، كثر خير الله وطاب.
What would it have been like if Allah's forgiveness at Arafah and Muzdalifah would have just been for the Hajj of Habibuna Mustafa Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? And had it not been for Umar Radhiallahu Anhu asking Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam whether this was just for them or whether this would continue till the end of time. So when you're in the excruciating heat of 45 degrees plus, subhanallah, and you feel as a human, I can't go any further, then you are reminded of the question Umar Radhiallahu Anhu posed to Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And what do you tell yourself? Definitely I can. Definitely I can. So subhanallah, Asr passes, Maghrib passes. There would be some sort of address, as I mentioned, after every salah. What's the dominant thinking? Just be here and make your salah. But for you, it's much more than that. It's an hour before salah, it's half an hour before salah. It's appreciating, hey, this content, alhamdulillah, it's good, it's valuable, but it's not doing it for me. I got my plan, I'm sticking to my plan. I'm sitting right there amongst them. I zone out, I keep making my ibadah. In the evening, now what happens? 2,500 people, all from the same country, friends and family, connections. I work in Johannesburg. I'm, subhanAllah, historically from Cape Town, or the other way around, or I have family from Durban. Now we're all in the close space. We tried to meet in Medina al-Munawwara, didn't happen. We tried to meet in Makkah al-Mukarramah, didn't happen. But I know that aunt, uncle, friend, colleague, whatever else is here somewhere. Let me go look for them. Is that your focus? No. No, I don't care. Okay. Tomorrow is the day when I have a one-on-one with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I want to rest. So I'm ready and prepared as I can be for tomorrow. So the moment Isha is over, whether I took my meals between Maghrib and Isha, whether I took my meals after Isha, etc., I go, I relieve myself, I take wudu, I use my miswak, no toothpaste. Understand, subhanAllah? Whether they called lights out or didn't call lights out, fine. What do I do before I go to bed? Day pack. Tomorrow is Arafah. What don't I need in my bag? Very little, because everything we had the first day, we need the second day. What do I need to replenish? Oh, I need to replenish my snacks because maybe I ate them. Okay, I didn't finish all. There's a half packet of breakfast mix here. Fine, but I'll need another one. And tomorrow is a busy day. And the day after is Muzdalifah. We're not necessarily coming back to the camp immediately. So I'm going to pack 1.5 days allocation of snacks, as an example. It's that thinking that you invoke every night before you go to bed. What's the next 24 to 36 hours? Stock my day pack accordingly. I'm good. Khalas, I go to bed. Where were we supposed to be in our class right now? Here. Taking a 10:30 break. Ya Allah. The stream, they're going to murder me at some point. Okay. What is something that I promised you at the beginning surrounding, subhanallah, your days of Hajj that I said I would share with you that would bolt onto the homework you have already? I'm going to close with this and sit with the team and brainstorm about how we're going to make up for this big setback on my part in terms of allocation of time. But I want you, subhanallah, who has a Quran with Quran translation? So any app that you have on your phone, I'm sure most of you. Can you take out your phones, please? and get yourself to Surah number 77. So chapter number 77, preferably one that has the Arabic and the English, or even if it's just the English, right? So I want you to go to Surah number 77. This is the way we normally do it in training. When you're there, kindly raise your hand. No, just get to the beginning of Surah number 77. So this will be somewhat difficult because remember, any translation is but a translation, right? The rules of stopping, subhanAllah, in the recitation of Quran are signs on themselves. So I'm going to have to try and in my mind manage the rules of stopping, which I'm bound by, subhanAllah, from a perspective of reading Quran. I'm going to have to manage this with appreciating how it's most likely showing out on your side in a whole myriad of different translations. So appreciate the complexity of the task at hand. All right. On the eve that Habibuna Mustafa Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was in Mina, what happened? Allah revealed the surah, Suratul Mursalat. So imagine, subhanallah, you have read the entire seerah. You've appreciated everything that Habibuna Mustafa Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam went through. And then you deep dived into the Hajj of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And you stumbled across this fact that I've shared with you, that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam received the revelation and the wahi of the surah of Quran. Where? In Mina. And you are sitting in Mina. And before you go to bed, or somewhere between Maghrib and Isha, so when the night sets in, you take out your translation of Quran and you reflect on these verses. Tell me, subhanAllah, without having been there already, how is your Hajj likely to be? You hours going through this fiqh nuance and that fiqh nuance, I promise you, my brothers and sisters, wallahi, you will not be able to enjoy your Hajj as much as you will enjoy your Hajj if you do the homework, read the seerah, read, deep dive into the Hajj of Muhammad. It's available in the English language. Do you like share it? No, look little bit. We'll share it in its appropriate time, but you go and search. Share with us what you find. We'll tell you whether it's good or not. Some of you have been doing that already. You forgot another piece of your homework. You're supposed to bring all the Islamic literature that you have that's Hajj and Umrah related. You didn't. So inshallah, do it next week because it's our last in-person connect. Good. So you're there at that surah now. And just immerse yourself. You're sitting on the floor in Mina. It's extremely hot, somewhat tired. It's also the anxiety of what tomorrow holds, which is Arafah. So it's happy on the one hand, jovial, it's carefree, you're in ihram, you've made it already to Mina. And then subhanallah. Bismillah والمرسلات عرفا فالعاصفات عصفا والناشرات نشرا فالفارقات فرقا فالملقيات ذكرا عذرا أو نذرا إنما توعدون لواقع فإذا النجوم تمست وإذا السماء فرجت وإذا الجبال نسفت وإذا الرسل أقتت لأي يوم أجلت ليوم الفصل وما أدراك ما يوم الفصل ويل يومئذ للمكذبين ألم نهلك الأولين ثم نتبعهم الآخرين كذلك نفعل بالمجرمين ويل يومئذ للمكذبين ألم نخلقكم من ماء مهين فجعلناه في قرار مكين إلى قدر معلوم فقدرنا فنعم القادرون ويل يومئذ للمكذبين ألم نجعل الأرض كفاتا أحياء وأسقيناكم ماء فراتا ويل يومئذ للمكذبين انطلقوا إلى ما كنتم به تكذبون انطلقوا إلى ظل ذي 3 شعب لا ظليل ولا يغني من اللهب إنها ترمي بشرر كالقصر كأنه جمالة صفر ويل يومئذ للمكذبين هذا يوم لا ينطقون ولا يؤذن لهم فيعتذرون ويل يومئذ للمكذبين هذا يوم الفصل جمعناكم والأولين فإن كان لكم كيد فكيدون ويل يومئذ للمكذبين إن المتقين في ظلال وعيون وفواكه مما يشتهون كلوا واشربوا هنيئا بما كنتم تعملون إنا كذلك نجزي المحسنين ويل يومئذ للمكذبين كلوا وتمتعوا قليلا إنكم مجرمون ويل يومئذ للمكذبين وإذا قيل لهم اركعوا لا يركعون ويل يومئذ للمكذبين فبأي حديث بعده يؤمنون صدق الله العظيم. If you have read the seerah and you have reached this point where Habibuna Mustafa Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is subhanallah in Mina on Hajj, and you were next to him sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the revelation of the surah subhanallah had just been completed, how would you feel? How would you feel? What would be going through your mind and subhanallah through your veins at this point in time? If you're not feeling it, no problem. What is it saying? It's saying, go do the homework so that when you're on Mina, subhanallah, you will feel it. All the consolation. Allah is telling him, I know what you went through. I know they belied you. I know they belittled you. I know they humiliated you. هذا يوم الفصل. This is the day of opening. And in your mind, you're thinking, what? Tomorrow is the day of opening. I'm going to stand on Arafah. You cannot make Hajj without being deeply connected and rooted in the seerah of Habibuna Mustafa Muhammad. I wonder, subhanallah, how so many of us have made Hajj for so many years and missed these. That's the element that we hope, inshallah, that we will be able to bring through to the class in what remains of the last session. Allah allow us to be creative in terms of how we make up for not having completed half of today's content, which was the day of Arafah. I'm getting some wild ideas in my mind. There's some other event happening at the school right now, right? What's this? Alumni reunion. What time does it end? Khair. Okay, so Arafah in the next session and inshallah a little bit more. Class, inshallah, we connect on Wednesday evening, 9 p.m. We'll cover the 1st to the 7th of Dhul Hijjah. I definitely won't do Arafah in an online session. You will make lots of dua between this week and next week that I don't digress. I don't think I digressed beyond Hajj, but inshallah, I keep the main thing the main thing. So we focus in our session next week, Saturday, Allah willing, and we complete. Ya Allah, make it possible. We complete everything of Hajj in the in-person session. If not, then we'll do a Wednesday after next week, Saturday. And if the class feels maybe we'll have to somehow come back. We can't come back on the weekend of the 22nd and 23rd of February, unfortunately. But I'm thinking out aloud here, so don't take any of this as gospel. Sorry? We'll have to check with the venue. So that, yeah, we'll have to look at those dynamics. Otherwise, potentially, we'll know better by the end of next week, Saturday, right? Otherwise, if we prefer the value that we get in terms of online, and I feel, subhanAllah, it makes a tremendous difference in terms of impact, maybe you need to fill your pies and samosas to make sure that it's done so that on the morning of the 28th of February, even though the first Tarawih will be that evening, then we may have to do one more in-person connecting. Worst case scenario, right? So Wednesday, next week, Saturday, Wednesday online, Saturday in person, following Wednesday online. Like I said, 23rd weekend, non-negotiable. And then inshallah, worst case scenario, يعني 28th February, the day prior to Ramadan kicking off, we may have to do another in-person connect. Subhanallah wa bihamdi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Wal 'asr innal insana lafi khusr illa alladhina amanu wa 'amilus salihati wa tawasaw bil haqq wa tawasaw bis sabr.